So what's up guys? So today we are having a new video and we will be reviewing the Phet simulation.
So Phet simulation is an interactive tool that is being used by the teachers and the students in learning science and mathematics lessons.
So we will be reviewing about its capital, its operating cost, functions and features, reliability, usability, and vendor. So let's go. Allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Gian Christian and together with my partner here.
I am Claire Almacen.
Alright, so without further ado, let us start.
How much does the product cost?
So the Phet simulation it does not have any cost because it is free to use.
So how easy is it to install the product?
So the product does not need installation since you can just visit it through a website, or you can just search www.phetsimulation.com and it can be used immediately without installing it.
So next is, what are costs of any additional hardware, software, or server space needed to operate the product?
Based on my usage, there are no additional costs since it is free to use by the teacher or the students or just anyone who wants to use it. So basically, it is just free to use.
So partner, what degree of installation support is available from the vendor, and is there any additional charge for this support?
The installation support based on the website is it runs.
So this is the requirements for the website to run.
So basically, the Phet simulation is free to use. So there are no other charges. There are no training charges, since the Phet simulation has its own manual and tutorials built in so that anyone can practice it.
What is the learning curve for project staff in adapting the new system, or the length of time?
So the learning curve or the length of time, Phet simulation is so user-friendly and it can be learned within just a minute when you use it.
So what changes are needed to make the standard product fit the needs of the project or users? Fit for purpose?
Phet simulations are well designed but not customizable. In other words, it is general and it is general purpose. Customization would require technical skills and access to the open source code, incurring developer time but no licensing fee. Since the simulations are built with using HTML5 or JavaScript and other standard web technologies, developers can work with them even without Phet specific knowledge.
So is source code provided so customizations or modifications can be made without large cost?
Yes, Phet is open source and its code is available on GitHub. So this allows for modification at low to moderate cost. Customizations might need to be reintegrated when new versions are released, especially if there are structural code changes.
Okay, so how many users can be served by the software, and what is the cost for scaling the project up to meet increased demand?
So as a web-based tool, it scales easily. It is self-hosted. The cost would depend on the server and infrastructure, but cloud browser-based use is virtually unlimited and free.
So now let's go to the operating cost. What level of maintenance is needed to operate the system in an ongoing basis?
Since we're talking about the web-based Phet simulation, there are no actually maintenance that are needed, especially it is accessed online. So yeah.
So what are the annual maintenance charges for the software, and are they reasonable?
So since it is online, there are no charges. Yeah, there are no
Okay.
charges.
Can our server administrators work with the product?
Yes, if hosting locally, server admins with basic web hosting experience can manage it. Otherwise, no need for internal hosting. So let's go to the functions and its feature of the Phet simulation. So how well does it meet the needs of the user community?
So in Phet simulation, it generally meets the needs of their user community. It is interactive, it is easy to use, and it fits well into the science and math lessons. It also generally meets the needs of the project team because they provide flexible, interactive, and engaging ways to learn, and also they provide a complex science concept. So it is a great source for the teachers or educators in looking for various or abstract ideas. So in Phet, it doesn't really require you to upload file or download because it is more on everything runs directly into the browser. So by using the HTML5, so no need to worry about uploading file or the file format and even the conversions. So in terms of prioritary, no, it doesn't it is not prioritary because again everything is open and based on the standard web technology. So it is designed to be open and accessible. And in terms also in importable and exportable, there is no importing or exporting of data because Phet is an interactive tool. So what you need to do is just explore and learn on these simulations, not to upload or download or collect the data. How does existing software currently in use? So in Phet, since it runs in any modern browser, so it works well in different platforms like your Chromebooks, or even in your different laptops or tablets, MacBooks, or even in your Windows. So no need to worry about its installation and its compatibility. So it's actually very easy because in Phet, they don't require you to log in your account. So meaning you don't need to manage your account or your permissions. So it also doesn't collect students their personal data. And in Phet, it doesn't use or manage the metadata because it's not a content management system. So it is more on supporting or running the simulations than organizing or tagging of data.
Is there an administrative module available allowing for easy site management?
In Phet, there is no dashboard or even a panel admin. So you don't need to do anything. Just site for the website, pick your simulation, and then use it. Just simple as that.
Okay, so is it secure?
Again, Phet simulation does not collect the personal data of the user. So it's just collect it if you download or create your own account on the Phet website.
All right. So does the software allow compliance with terms of data sharing agreements?
Yes, because it doesn't, it does not store the user's data, it avoids the usual sharing data concerns.
Okay.
Phet doesn't really, again, use personal or the user's data. If you download the simulation, you just, it runs or store what the date or what the simulation needs, and then on your local device.
Who hosts the data and where are servers located?
So Phet is hosted by the University of Colorado Boulder, where the data and their simulations are stored in their servers. So in this website, which is the phet.colorado.edu, is their website. So it is also managed and maintained by this university.
Okay, so who owned the Phet simulation?
Phet simulation is owned by the University of Colorado Boulder, but it is found on 2002 by Nobel laureate Carl Wayman.
Okay, so let's go to the reliability of Phet simulation. Is the technology mature, or has the technology been proven to meet the needs of similar clients?
Yes, it is. Because Phet is a matured and well-established tool and it's been around since 2002 and is trusted by millions of teachers and students worldwide. So each simulation is carefully tested and evaluated to make sure it really works in classrooms. So yes, it is definitely proven and reliable. Phet does not currently publicly announce major changes or upgrades of its simulation. So Phet focuses on continuous under development, but major changes are not typically announced in advance. The Phet Interactive Simulation Project was founded in 2002. So the project now offers over 160 free interactive simulations for educational use in physics, in chemistry, biology, earth science, and mathematics.
So let's move on to the usability.
Yes, again, you can track the what is in the Phet using the Google, or you can just search it. So in Phet simulation, the various help features and documentations to users. It including instruct in simulation instruction, simulation specific tips, a center, and a resources for teaching and learning. It is designed to be highly intuitive and require minimal training for end users. So they are developed with emphasis on user friendliness and simplicity, allowing students to explore concepts through interactive simulations with little to no prior explanation or instruction.
Now let's go to the vendors. Who is else is using the technology? How large is the user community? And especially important with open source.
So Phet is used by huge community. There are students, teachers, researchers, and even commercial education providers. So since it's free and open source, it's hard to track exact numbers, but it is safe to say that it's being used worldwide in classrooms, labs, and training programs. The vendor of Phet simulation is the University of Colorado Boulder. It is a well-established and reputable educational organization. They have a long history of developing and providing free interactive simulations for various science and math disciplines. The Phet is active since 2002. So that's over 20 years of continuous development and use.
Okay, how about the size of the company or its revenue?
Phet is not isn't really a traditional company. It's a non-profit project run by the University of Colorado Boulder, funded by the grants and donations. So instead of revenue, it relies on educational and research funding.
How about the number of customers?
So Phet has a huge user base. Over 50 million learners use their simulations every year. So with about 250 million simulation uses annually, the number keeps growing and growing. So showing just how widely trusted and used Phet is across both local and global communities.
Does the vendor have track records?
Yes, absolutely. Phet has trusted for over 2 decades. It's research-based, award-winning, and backed by a strong academic institution.
Okay, so does the vendor have the ability to provide support to users?
Yes, they do. While Phet is a free and open access, they offer support through their website.
All right. So, what type of support are offered?
So, from what I have said earlier, you'll find simulation-specific tips, video primers, resources for teaching with simulations, and a community-shared activities database.
Okay, so is the company providing the technology likely to be around for the long hour? Or I mean long haul?
Yes, definitely. It runs by the University of Colorado Boulder and backed by grants and sponsors. Plus, it's open source, so the code is public and can be improved or maintained by others if needed. So that makes it very suitable long term.
Okay, so what are the implications if it is not?
So that would be a big loss for teachers and students who use it to make science fun and easy to understand. But since it's open source, others can still use or continue the simulations. So even if the main team stops, Phet won't totally disappear.
Alright, so in conclusion, the Phet simulation is a free to use website by just anyone who wants to use it, and it is so easy to access and easy to use since it provides us with tutorials and free manuals for us to learn, and we can learn it just within a minute.
So Phet simulation again is a flexible and interactive, which is again what they said my partner is easy to use, and it is very useful for the teachers and the students for teaching or learning about the science and math concepts.
Alright, so thank you for watching our video, and if you want to visit Phet simulation, you can actually visit here in this website, this link. So thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.